He's throwing down an additional Stargate. An observer is out. Taking a look at the green player, Spiffy, the Terran. Similar situation. Finding himself supply capped like a pro. You never want to be supply capped. That's just the Viking coming out. A fusion core here in play, but there is a battle. These Phoenixes are going to encounter this Viking army with the observer support. It's going to be pretty close, but the Phoenix air superiority. Oh, but a point defense drone in play now, so it didn't have a lot of energy. It did manage to shoot down some of those laser beams, as there's the tooltip for you. It just it's kind of like the new what was the term? It's the defensive spell that the Science Vessel had in the first game, the Defense Matrix or something like that. This is essentially the Defense Matrix for the new Raven unit. But in the end, this drone did not have enough energy to compete, and these Phoenixes are just barely going to win the day. But that being said, I did lose a lot of units, a lot of resources. It's pretty close, however, as you can see. It's, we are pretty close as far as unit and resource deficit, but I do have these missile turrets in play, and right now, Yellow has no ground forces, so his entire investment is pretty much in the air. He's got some of his observers, but they can't do much against these missile turrets. And as you can see, that's the 2 bonus armor in play. A Warp Prism now coming out, so I think he realizes that he does not have air superiority anymore, so he's going to try to maybe get some ground units, or no, he's investing in a carrier. So while I have this pretty decent air army, unupgraded but decent nonetheless, some Vikings and some Banshees in play, I do think I lost that one Raven, or essentially lost it. I'm not microing it very well, so I've got that Raven in play with those other air units, just trying to macro up respectively. And we've got some energy here on this orbital command that I need to spend, just as, yeah, Spliffy's Nexus is sitting at 70 energy as well. But this observer is going to spy this Banshee. This Phoenix is going to engage, but it's going to be met with a lot of Terran missiles there, as it's forced to run away. Probably going to get caught by this missile turret. Yeah, one-shotted there. And I'm saying, hey, missile turrets are doing pretty nicely here, so I'm going to drop down 2 more. Now I'm going to help myself to Spliffy's base. Not too much resistance, 1 carrier and 1 Phoenix coming out. The Phoenix goes down pretty quick. These Vikings are shooting down the interceptors. Banshee's trying to take out that one cannon, but the cannon doing a good job taking out that one Banshee. These Vikings are successful in destroying that carrier. Now these Vikings are going to transform. Oh, that cannon is not shooting the correct target. This Viking's going to survive with 5 HP, and now these Vikings with that 1 attack upgrade in play now are going to clean up a fair amount of probes. So, reacting to this, Spliffy is getting this island expansion here from this Warp Prism. Players do often forget that these expansions exist. They're very easy to defend. They're only accessible by destroying that destructible debris right there. But as I say that, these Vikings are still inside the Protoss player's base. And I don't know why I left off. I should just really keep the pressure on, but maybe perhaps I'm just trying to regroup and come back for a more successful attack when these units have some more support. And yeah, as you can see here, they're joining up with this Viking army with these 2 Banshees now as well, with that cloak researched. As the cloak comes out, though, so does this observer. So these Banshees need to cloak, but they're not, very foolishly of me. And yeah, there's the cloak now coming down. The interceptors, all those interceptors in that carrier drop to this Viking army. These Vikings are going to transform to their ground mode and try to take out that 1 cannon. Simply outranging that 2nd cannon there, it may become, yeah, now it's engaging. So these Vikings are forced to pull back. That cannon goes down, and Yellow is not in a good position whatsoever. He's got a void right here, but I've got tons of Vikings, a cloaked Banshee, now going to fall to that photon cannon. But definitely not looking good for Spliffy, as I have my real natural expansion now, plus this island expansion with tons of missile turrets, 2 refineries, and now this tertiary expansion is in play with that 1 refinery going up. My Vikings are still in the base as Spliffy whines like a little girl, as he is probably aware that he's going to lose this game unless he makes something happen. He is pumping carriers, and right now these Vikings are in the incorrect mode, going back up to the air mode here to try to run away or fight. But yeah, as you all know, in the decision to fight or flight, they are indeed flighting. Just a little bit of a Sigmund Freud reference there, or actually more of a Darwin thing, I'd say. But that's relevant because those of you that do have the beta know that that is part of the Viking voice set. so I'm not just talking out of my butt there. These Banshees are going to try to snipe this fleet beacon to ensure that no carriers are coming out. Also, yeah, you can see the mothership is available, but Spliffy doesn't have the gas for it. The fleet beacon also does allow production of the mothership. But this carrier now is going to try to deal with these Banshees. Banshees are cloaked, so that one goes down probably to this observer site. But yeah, these Vikings are now going to come in and eliminate that threat. And these air units are just going to wade into the Protoss player's base and just try to end this once and for all. That one photon cannon offering some resistance, but just through the sheer numbers of these Vikings with the 2 attack upgrade, also these 2 cloaked Banshees are going to definitely finish cleaning up this mineral line. He's not mining with any probes here. He is saturating this expansion here decently, but he only has a War Prism over here and 2 Zealots within this smoky area. But yeah, there's definitely, I'm just now looking at the units lost station, and it's very one-sided indeed. As far as resources, it is pretty close, but Yellow has lost way more units. Those are undoubtedly probes. Right now I say, alright, getting kind of bored here. You're going to bring in these 2 Ravens with that Hunter-Seeker missile now researched. Some Vikings over here just idling. And yeah, I'm probably focusing on my macro more than anything. What I like to do, which I'm perhaps not doing as well in this game, is I like to bind all of my economy buildings. So in this case it would be my orbital commands. I like to bind them all to my 2 key, so if I want to, I can just hit 2. That will select all my orbital commands, and I can spam mules from all of those buildings as much as I want. Obviously this applies to the other races, so if I bind my Nexus, my Protoss Next side too, I can use Chrono Boost anytime I want. And if I'm Zerg, I can produce units from hatcheries, or I can also bind my queens to a control group and spawn larvae at will. So that's just a little tip. Some auto turrets now in play. I don't see anything threatening this Terran force anytime soon. And right now it's just a game of cat and mouse, as I don't know that Spliffy is operating off of this island expansion. Not even really an island. It's sort of an island accessible through this destructible debris, but that debris won't really matter, as most of my units, all of my army is air based. So yeah, right now this mech air army, they're gonna spot these Zealots, can take them out no problem. They're not even gonna get one warp blade hit off, as this fleet of ground and air mechs just kind of heads over to Spliffy's base. Spiffy trying to wave the white flag of surrender. I'm having none of that, however. Because in Starcraft 2, you take no prisoners, there's no surrender, it's all about destruction, so we're going to see some more of that right now.